Welcome back, everybody. It's another exciting episode of Fresh Forward. Today, we are taking a closer look at one of our new exciting features that are coming with the October 2024 release. That's Ultra LMS 3900.102. And today, we are turning our attention to our number one pick. And this one was a big, exciting one. And actually, it comes with great excitement, I think, from faculty because people have been asking for it. And that's generating question banks, as you see on the screen. So just a heads up that this video is being recorded before it's released into production. So just be aware that things may change mildly, and the timing is really just as it's planned, but things happen. Just a hello. We are your hosts. It's Liam and Colleen, and we'll be guiding you through what this tool looks like and how to use it. Just taking a closer look at that instead of just glossing over it like we do in the Fave 5.
Mhm.
So generating question banks is part of the tests and assignments category with Anthology. Similar to how we could generate test questions, now instructors have the option to generate questions in a question bank, and they can select the type of questions to generate, such as multiple choice or fill in the blank. The complexity of the questions can also be adjusted, and instructors choose which questions they want to use out of that generation into the question bank. So first point there highlights a lot of stuff that's I think that's addressing an identified need. I know faculty typically would create tests, and then those tests are sitting in their content area as undeployed, and then it's an item in their grade book, and so it just becomes a big mess. Now we can build those questions right into the tests, into the question bank. And then the bottom point there is just reinforcing a lot of the Anthology's position with responsible use of AI. This is where you're going to find it, is right in the question bank screen. You're going to see that plus icon. You click there, and instead of just new and import, you see we also have auto generate. So that's where to find it. It's not a terribly complicated process, but we thought we would give you a little bit of a demonstration so that you see how this works in action. And then maybe you'll be following along as you build your own. Okay, let's go into our live environment or our production environment, and I'll demonstrate this. If you were following along the previous episodes, you may recognize the Guardians of Arcana and the mythological hero. A little bit of a text that we put together that we use to demonstrate the integrated knowledge check. This is the one we're going to use, though, as a reference. So let's imagine we've got our text here. You can see we've got several paragraphs of information ready to go. I did use the H1 and H2 tags for the headers because that's just good accessibility and also just helps structure your content. But this is the material that I want to test my students on. So let's get started. I don't do anything inside here. The important thing, though, is that you've got your content. I like to have my content in the course like this because, as you see, I was able to integrate a knowledge check in here, and this is going to work relatively smoothly. I'm going to close this, and let's get started. Here's how you build or generate a question bank. In your course, just in the main content page, we're going to go over to the side menu here where the question bank is listed, and we're going to click on Manage Banks. If it's been a while since you've been in your Blackboard course, you may be wondering why everything is flipped over. I think it was the September release, Colleen, is that right? That everything kind of moved?
That's right.
So now the course menu is moved over to the right-hand side. We do most stuff on a computer on the left-hand side. We're used to being here, so it made sense that the stuff that we don't access as often is over here. So let's click Manage Banks. And here we are in my question bank screen. I don't have much in here, just the one, but that's okay. We're going to click the plus icon. And you see we've got the option of new, so we could create one by scratch. We could import a question bank if we had one from somebody. Let's click auto generate. This brings up a familiar screen if you've been doing anything with AI in Ultra, as far as auto-generating the rubrics or modules and so forth. We've got our kind of our settings and then the content output here. It auto-generated some questions based on I don't know what. I'm not sure why area is here. I don't think I've got any of this in my course, but that's okay, because when you first come in here, it starts to work right away. This is not what I want to use. Over here, define questions, you can give a description, but what the exciting piece here is we're going to select the course items. So I'm going to click here, and I'm going to navigate to where the content is. I'm going to go into content and mythology in film, and I'm going to select this item here. You can see on this side, it says items, and it has the one thing here. If we had multiple pieces, we could have multiple items selected and they would all be here. For now, we're just gonna go with the one item. I'm gonna try and remember, Colleen, if I forget, maybe at the end, just I'll circle back and explain why I would probably prefer to only do one item at a time.
Okay.
But we'll come back to that. Let's click select. And then we've got some options here. We have Inspire Me, which gives multiple question types. I'm going to leave it as Inspire Me for demonstration purposes, but this falls in the same category of why I would use one item at a time. And this would not normally be the way I would do this. Complexity is up to you. I've played around with it so far between here and high. I'm just going to move it right there. And I'm going to change this to 10, which is the maximum number you can get in one go. That is also related to why I would not want Inspire Me, and I would probably choose a question type. But we'll leave it like this. The advanced options right now is just what language do you want those questions to come out in. We've got several options there. Maybe good for if you have English language learners, or if you are doing a test in a language course, perhaps that would be of interest. I'm going to click generate, and we're going to let the AI tool do its thing here. You see the wheel spinning, and we'll just patiently wait. So what it's doing is reading through all the content on that item that I'd selected in here, and it is generating some questions. Here we go. So now we've got several questions, different types. So we've got an essay question, describe Princess Lyra's role in the rebellion against the Galactic Dominion, and it gives you an example of what that would look like as an answer. You've got describe Lucan's character development throughout the story. There you go. Question 3 is a fill in the blank. The message is intended for a reclusive warrior known as blank, a former guardian of light. And the answer there, Ben Solara. Heads up with matching, with fill in the blanks, they need to be exact. If you wrote Ben Solara and the students wrote Solara, they would not get the correct the mark. Or if they wrote Ben, or if they wrote B Solara or Solara, comma Ben, you need to make sure you're thinking about all of the ways that you would accept an answer with fill in the blanks. Another essay, here's another fill in the blank. And then we've got some matching questions of who each character is, and another fill in the blank. Not very many multiple choices in this example, but this is what it has produced, probably because we went on the higher complexity level. If we adjusted that and regenerated it, I'd imagine we'd get more of the multiple choice and true falses. If you're happy, it only gave me 7 there. I wonder why when I selected 10. Question for another day. So you would select the questions, and you'll notice there is no select all option. You have to select them one at a time. That is intentional and very unlikely to change, is because you need to deliberately choose the output that AI is created and put in your course. So you can't say, well, AI or Ultra put AI content into my course without my permission. Nope, I've explicitly selected each of those questions. I'm going to click add those 7 questions to the question bank. And here we are. There's the generated question bank. I should have named that differently when I did it. Now, when I go into my course, and if I wanted to create a test about the Guardians of Arcana, I can come in here, click this button, click create, go into test, and we'll just call this Arcana review. And now we're going to click the plus, and we're going to reuse questions or generate a question pool, whichever you prefer. I'm going to use the reuse questions, and I'm going to select that question bank, and I'm going to select all. And you see we've got all of these questions all selected. There are 7 results in that question bank. You see it says generated bank 9/20/24. This is why I would have named that question bank when I created it, so that I can find it later. There it is. I've got 7 results. I've selected 7 questions. I'm going to go ahead and click copy questions. And now those questions have all come into my course. If I zoom out just a little bit, because we're not going to focus on the inside, like the text of the questions, you see we've got an essay and then an essay and then a mat or fill in the blank and so on. You might choose to put all of your questions, your essay questions together. So you can reorganize them, right? You can pull them down and shuffle things around so that it's easier for the students who are taking it. But that's it. We have gone through and created some questions based on content that is in your course. I'd encourage you to play around with that, see what you think, and let us know if you find something cool that that works that you didn't expect, or if there's something that if you run into any challenges. But this is probably one of the more exciting pieces out of the October release for 102, and yeah, I'm hoping that makes a difference for folks as you're building your courses.
Awesome.
Yeah, I know this has been a nice and short video, which means I can talk further. And I was made a comment earlier to circle back to why I wouldn't use the Inspire Me. I I wouldn't use the Inspire Me button, because if I knew I was assessing my students, I'd probably be knowing what kind of questions I'd want to ask. But also, if you build multiple choice questions and true, like if you ran that and instead of saying inspire me, you said essay questions and asked for 10, then you're likely going to get 10 essay questions that you can choose from. And you have a greater success of, or greater likelihood of getting a piece of a selection of questions that you can use. And same thing with multiple choice and true false. And you've also kind of got them categorized. Same thing goes with building your test. You want to try and make sure that you're being fair. I did make a comment too about not selecting multiple items, and that goes back to making sure that you're getting an equal assessment, because you wouldn't want to be picking 5 different topics and only getting 7 of the 10 questions out of one area,
Mm.
and not assessing the other areas. So a little bit of an aside from a course design and an assessment design sort of perspective. But that wraps up our closer look at the generating question banks in Blackboard Ultra. Hope this has been helpful. If you don't mind, like this video and subscribe to our channel. Helps us feel good about what we're doing and shows our boss that we're not wasting our time. Love you, Mark. And that's it for today. Like I said, let us know if you give this a go and and how your experience is. Stay tuned. We've got more coming. And that's it for today. Have a great day, folks. Take care.